Hey guys, welcome back to DONSLIFE and welcome to the channel. Today I've got some important updates for the 17.2 inch infotainment screen upgrade for the older interiors in these GMC Sierra and Chevy Silverado trucks. These updates are going to improve the functionality on their latest version of this infotainment upgrade. Now these software patches are supposed to address a couple common complaints or concerns that come with this latest generation screen. I'm going to show you how to download them, how to install them, and we're going to apply them for the first time together because I haven't tested these yet. So I'm hoping that they work. I've also been testing a new feature that comes with these screens, and that's the compatibility with Cloud SIM technology. And what I'm learning so far, this might appeal to some of you. And lastly, you all get to laugh at my expense while I struggle putting the anti-glare screen protector on my 17.2 inch screen. Let's go. So first we're going to pull the truck outside so I can show you the two issues as they exist today before we install these patches, because I want you to see the before and then the after behavior, assuming that these patches work. Now the first one has to do with the camera glitch that doesn't happen every time, but does happen frequently when you go into reverse. You get intermittent flickering and the frames don't seem to keep up in a nice steady stream or flow, and that can be a little bit dangerous or misleading when you're trying to back up, especially in a sensitive location. The second one has to do with camera behavior when you have multiple apps open at once and you have a split screen mode. I'll have to demonstrate this when we go outside. It'll be much easier to explain, but the current behavior isn't ideal for most of us. So let's just start her up here and get outside. And we got to get rid of that screen, but I don't think there's a workaround for it right now. But that's a whole other issue. So I'll be as steady as I can here. We don't have to go far. Oh, look at that, Nickelback. Let's crank it. Okay, I'll just pull ahead a little bit here. Close my garage. Okay, I'm just gonna pull up even further and we're gonna see if the reverse camera glitches. So hopefully there's not too much glare. But I'm going to, oh, it's nice and dirty. I better wipe that off first. That'll make the test a little better. Take two. I might just have to overlay some footage from the Facebook group of other... Oh, there it was. See the glitching? That's a problem. Try that again. So it's a little bit of a slow speed thing. Okay, watch closely. See that? See the stuttering in the image? You don't really want that when you're backing up into a tight spot. So I'm hoping that our first patch remedies that. Here's an example of the second issue. So I've set up the split screen where my console's on the bottom. So that's my factory console view. And I've got my switch panel here. That's that same one right there. Now on the previous version of this screen, the Android 13 version, I could go to my cameras. But see what happens? It takes over the whole screen. We don't need that to happen. So what we're looking for with this other patch is this not to appear when we're just trying to do things with our cameras. It also moved the image up here when you saw that I had it set down below. In the previous version of the software, the Android 13, wherever I had the camera controls, whether it was down here or up here, it would just show that section, and this would still be the second item that I had split screen, for example, my switch panel. The other problem is, how do I get out of here? You tell me. I'm parked right now. It's reasonable that when you're parked, you might want to look at your cargo. My cameras are really dirty. You know, I might want to look at my cargo like this, look at my hitch if I had it connected, which is all well and good, except how do I get out of this screen? There's no home button I can press. There's no way out of here. Pressing climate control doesn't do anything. I'm absolutely stuck on this screen. There's no home button. I can't get back. The only way to get it back is to put the vehicle in gear and start driving. And now I just have to wait or go a certain speed and it'll return to normal. So look how long I'm driving here and I'm still stuck on this screen and I have to wait for this timer to come up. I don't want that either. That's annoying. Like I'm stuck with this screen on. There. Now it went back. Now it's setting up the split screens again. But you can see what I'm talking about. I'm driving right now. Click on camera. takes over the whole screen. So the second patch should remedy this. At least it's supposed to. All right, first you want to grab yourself a USB stick. Make sure it's got at least 4 gigs or 8 gigs of capacity. Also make sure that it's formatted to FAT32. This is going to give you the least amount of problems. Next, find your download link. Just click download. You shouldn't have to sign up for anything. Maybe try a different browser if you're having problems. Maybe you have a VPN turned on, but you shouldn't have to sign up for anything. Just download the file. Now, in making this video, I've downloaded this update a few times. You can see there's some numbers in brackets beside the file name. Once I copy this over to the USB stick or before, just make sure that the number in brackets, if you downloaded it multiple times, isn't there. You need the original file name. And this might take some time to transfer over to a USB stick depending on the speed of the USB stick that you're using. Make sure you eject it properly from your computer, and then that way you won't corrupt any files. And now go take it to your truck. Now, first thing I'm going to do is put it in full-time accessory mode by holding the start button for about 10 seconds. Sometimes you have to let go and try again. I think it'll work this time. Cool. There, my dash cam and my radar, they're all making noises. That's what those chimes are. This screen is annoying, but it might be hard-coded and built in, and you can't take it out. So here's the home screen with the widgets. Now I've got my first patch file right here. This is the one you saw me download. I'm old school. I want to do it on USB and not download it directly to the screen, which is definitely an option, but you should install your USB cables to the screen so you can do this type of install the way that I'm about to show you. Also, the reason my hood's up is because to film this video, I wanted to make sure that my battery is getting charged at the same time that I'm using all of the electronics, so I don't get a dead battery, because we do not want to mess up this installation. So let's grab my USB cable here. There's 2. Here's one. Plug it in. Just wait to see the magic happen. You should get this screen next. There's our current build. We're going to hit upgrade, hit OK, and now it's a waiting game. So it's 4:29 right now on the screen. It's been about 3 minutes so far. We're about the 5-minute mark. You can see it takes a little while, which is why you want to make sure that your accessory mode or your vehicle is running and not going to shut off and time out on you. Okay, so here's our first restart. This could happen multiple times. That's a background that I believe I selected earlier. Okay, well, it appears that it had updated. I'm going to unplug the USB. Leave that screen. And I'm just going to power cycle it and make sure that it all starts properly. Just need to open my door.
Entering the parking surveillance mode.
That should shut it off. Just going to turn accessory on quickly so we can have a look. It's just booting up here. Everyone's favorite welcome screen. But there. It looks like it's booting up properly. Before we go and test to see if the camera flickering issue has gone away, we're going to install the other patch and then install it and do both tests outside. Same as before, put in your USB stick, make sure it's empty, also formatted to FAT32, find your file link, download it, save it to the USB drive. This file's tiny, so it only takes seconds. Eject it properly, and voila, you're ready to go. Okay, we are back for the second patch. Just turn our accessory on. Now this is a little different process based on the nature of the file. So we're going to plug it in, but nothing's going to happen automatically. We're going to go to our apps. We're going to go settings. We're going to go system. We're going to go upgrade. Make sure plug box is selected, and then we'll go simple upgrade. Now this should automatically upgrade and then restart. Okay, that might be it. I'm just gonna get out of here. I'm going to unplug this. And now I'm just gonna take the charger off, put my hood down, take it outside, and redo these tests. Okay, let's start with the glitchy reverse. Going nice and slow. Clean my cameras too. Looks really good so far. Okay, we can't have this be a one-off, so let's try it again. We have a lot of ice on our roads, that's why it's a little bit bumpy. Nice and slow. Going slow is when it seems to happen, but I think they might have fixed it. Okay, so one patch is good. That makes me very happy. Throw it in park. Goes back to the main screen. Now the moment of truth. Did this bin file change things? First, I'm going to bring up the same split screen we had last time. Oh, because I reset it, I have to redo my split screen. So let's pick the same things. Switch panel. And console, pick that. Okay, so we're back where we started. Switch panel on top, this on the bottom. Now what we're hoping for is that when I bring up the cameras, I get to keep the cameras and not lose the other half. Oh yes, exactly what we wanted. So that's better. Now to get out of here, the nicest way to do it would be to hit the console button. Then my camera is still up top there. Now I have the original factory home button here and I can get back. So much better and more convenient. So let's look at some functionality. Got CarPlay on the bottom. I have Google Maps on top here. Driving ahead, everything works as you would expect it to. But now when I back up, we get the full screen like we know we would. So that makes sense. No glitching. If I put it back into drive, look at it. It moves the camera over to the camera for the front, and then it should switch back shortly here once we get going. Perfect. CarPlay came back up. So that's behaving properly. Just had to do a 3-point turn, so there's a little bit of a delay, but the fact that I don't have to push any buttons for it to go back to normal, it's exactly what we want to see. Check out the anti-glare. That works pretty good. Sunroof open. Not too bad. Better than it was. All right, if you want yourself a screen protector and you're in North America, get one for Mitch at Radio Edit Automotive. You just won't have to wait as long if you order internationally. Now let's take the old one off. This is the screen protector that comes from shipping. It's not going to be the quality of the screen protector that we're putting on today. This is just temporary, and I should have taken it off already, but I wanted to wait until I had this product come in and that I had my screen out, which you don't have to do this with the screen out, but I had mine out because I was wiping my older unit, my 15.6. So I took this out in order to do that, and now I thought now's a good time to put on the new screen protector. Now it should be perfectly clean, but we do have some supplies here. Got our little squeegee, lens cleaner, our instructions, a towel, and a little sticker to grab any specks of dust right before we put it on. Well, first let's just see if it fits. so we know where to line it up. It's just inside the border all the way around. Give this a wipe again. That's not the sticky side. This is the sticky side. There we go. I hate doing these things. Well, I managed to salvage it and get it done. I'm not the expert at these. I actually don't like doing them. They give me anxiety, but I'm happy with how this turned out. Okay, so let's talk about SIMs or eSIMs or cloud SIMs, all the different SIMs, because I know it can be confusing to a lot of people. It was even confusing to me at first. I think the one most people are familiar with is the physical SIM card that you'd put in your phone, or in this case, our screen, and it would allow you to connect to one of the carriers, which if you do international traveling, could be costly. So an eSIM is basically the same thing, just digital. You scan a QR code and you download the carrier profile directly to the device. This was handy for us when we traveled to Europe and we were able to activate our phones and use data abroad from one country to another and not have to pay any roaming fees. Now with a cloud SIM, and this screen has this functionality, you're not opening an account with a cellular network provider. Instead, you buy data from within the app and the device connects through a cloud platform that accesses available carrier networks for you. So no card, no contract, just purchase data when you need it. It's certainly more flexible, but it's not necessarily the most cheapest long-term option. That said, I have been testing it and it works. The fact that you can get a starter package for less than $5 just to test it out to see if it's something you want to do, it might be something that you want to watch and figure out. Well, let's take a closer look at it and you can decide if it's something that you want to try. So before I demonstrate exactly how it works, let me show you how you would get started. So you go to your apps, and already installed is this app here, built-in SIM. Click that. Now I was already playing around with this, so the activation process has started. But once you download the app, you can see there's different packages. You would buy a package for your device. Just for testing purposes, I put a 1 gig package on here for less than $5 Canadian. I recommend to set it up that you download the app first. And once the app's downloaded, you have to add it to your device list. All you have to do is click Add Device. You'll have a QR code scanner here. And then when you scan it, it'll let you link the device to your account. And then it will automatically search all the different carrier signals and attach itself to one, and you'll start using your data. But I found in my environment, I need to be outside to get a signal here. So let's take the truck outside, wait for it to get a signal, which will help with the activation. The reason why mine isn't activated already was because I restarted this when we did the first patch at the beginning of this video. So I just have to redo this activation and we should be good to go. I made sure in my app that I've got almost a gig still of data ready to go. Activate built-in SIM, and this can take a little while. Make sure you take advantage of the 85 to 90% off voucher if this is something you want to try. It's for new users. My prices are reflected in Canadian, so it'll be different if you're looking at this from the US. There we go, it's activated. And we now have internet on the go. And my Wi-Fi is not being used. Okay, I've just pulled over. We have pretty good service right there, 4 bars. Little video here.
What is the real reason Daily Jennings?
Hey, you over there.
Yeah, this is so weird.
I feel like you should have the steering wheel.
And it feels wrong.
So that's an example of Cloud SIM. You'll also see when you swipe down and you go to internet, you'll see that your Cloud SIM connection, this Glocal Me 22, is default and connected. and then Wi-Fi would be secondary. So if you're on Wi-Fi and this connection gets activated, it will disconnect Wi-Fi and keep that on for you. So here's an example of two things at once, both using the cloud SIM for the internet, and we can be on our way. So I got navigation going with Google Maps, and we got a DONSLIFE video down below, and we also get ads.
Exit the roundabout onto Evergreen Boulevard. In 200 meters, turn left onto Zari Road.
Day one, success and lesson learned. Well, I think that should certainly give you some ideas on functionality. And it's nice having that connection because then I have the weather app stay updated and it just looks better. Now if we can fix some of the graphics to represent a GM or Chevy product instead of a Ford pickup here. And if you open the door and leave it open long enough, you get the Ram 1500 side profile, and then you have the Ford top profile there again. Yes, you can change to whatever color your vehicle is or close to it. But when you go to model, GMC Sierra is selected, but that's a Ram. I can pick the Ford F-150, that looks right. Pick a car, BMW, see, that all works, but our models are incorrect. So we need this fixed. That is a Ram 1500. This is a GMC Sierra HD, which I could live with if we had to use that, but we shouldn't be using these Ford and Ram graphics. So if we can fix those things, as well as this image right here, we'll be pretty close to how we need this functioning. I have a special update for everybody. I just talked to AUCAR and they are going to look at creating an update or a patch that addresses these truck images not being representative of GMC Sierras or Chevrolet Silverados. So I'm going to send the engineers some images of our actual trucks and what they should look like, and then hopefully we can make this happen. So that's my update of the updates, as well as an insight into what the cloud SIM technology actually is as it pertains to this screen, and then me fumbling through my screen protector install, which at the end of the day, we got it done. But don't necessarily do it exactly like I did, because you could see I had some trouble there, but we salvaged it, and that's all that matters. So if you're on the fence about one of these screens, well, I hope this gives you a little more insight into what AUCAR does. They continually go back, look at what they can do, revise the software, create a patch, update a file, things that can help this be a little more user-friendly for all of us owners out there. If you're thinking about getting one, I'll leave all the information in the video description down below. And if you found this video useful, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you next time.